Hey, it's Mopar Keith here this afternoon, and I'd like to show you a little bit about one of the repairs and modifications that we do often here in the shop. Manual steering converted to power steering. We do that quite often around here. Now, not every car has to get the factory power steering box. We do some Borgson conversions, and there's also, if you change the K-frame, you can do a rack and pinion conversion. We do this so often around here, I actually keep new gears in stock. I use Steering Gear in Ohio, and I send them good cores, and they rebuild them and send them back, about $500 plus shipping. They can rebuild the pitman arms, and I have a good source for good used couplers. We have a lot of parts cars here, and then you can also get all of the fittings. And one thing that's real common to leak or break is these aluminum guys right here. And over the years, just parting cars out, I've got boxes of these. Now here's one item they developed a long time ago. If you've ever dealt with these couplers and the chintzy ring that goes around the top of this, you know how difficult those can be at times. So they actually developed this very tight fitting piece of rubber that goes over the top of it. In case you didn't know, the main reason this slip coupler actually exists is because the worm drive inside of here actually will walk back and forth as the steering is turned. And so that increases or decreases this length right here. And this slide coupler is full of grease, and this in combination with another one and a couple other items actually slide back and forth in that coupler as the steering wheel is turned. I'm not sure if any other manufacturer has used anything like this. Commonly I see it on Chevys and Ford is a rag joint, which is like a vibration deal. But this guy right here is just meant to slide back and forth as the steering wheel is turned. So here's the clips in question. Like I said, I don't know what the factory tool was to install these, but it usually, for us DIY guys, it usually involves a couple pair of channel locks, a chisel and a hammer. And then also this orange thing is not a factory item. So if you do it, you try to get the black one. I guess here's a decent used one. I don't have any new in stock right now. So that's weirdly red. So, but yeah, this clip right here, this is what replaces this right here. So here's the car that we're working on right now. So this is a 1970 Challenger RT SE, and for whatever reason it was born with manual brakes and manual steering, and the owner requested that we add power steering. So here's the power steering gearbox installed, and right now we're waiting for the power steering pump in the brackets. And then there's also one last modification that has to be accomplished when you do the power steering retrofit, is the steering columns are actually different lengths. So a manual gearbox is small and short, so it requires a long steering column. The power steering gearbox is a lot bigger, obviously, so it requires a shorter steering column. So it's what we end up doing is you either find a power steering shaft and change it out with your entire column, or you can actually cut this, and right back here you cut it about this far and you drill that hole out, punch that pin in there, and then you can move your coupler back and that'll make room for the new steering box. The other thing, and I've never done this before, but the other thing some people have done is the steering shaft is actually collapsible, and if you just bang this on the ground you can actually make it shorter, but I don't want to do that. So you either change it out completely with the correct shaft, or you can cut and drill this and reinstall the stainless pin and put the correct slider on this. And one last item is the couplers are actually different. So we have two different sizes right here. So we have a small and a large, and then that's your difference between a manual and a power steering gearbox.